Live now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci, and I am so happy that you decided to watch this video. Whether you're watching live or deep into whatever dystopian future still has YouTube on it, I'm just thrilled that you found this video. I'm so excited for tonight. Before I get to that, just a quick reminder that if you are new to this game, please go ahead and like, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff. Find the show on Instagram and Twitter at IMDb Game. Find it on Facebook. Find the Facebook group if you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. That's where I booked this show for the most part. So if you're watching this and think this looks fun, I'd love to have you. I love having new people on the show. We have a new person tonight. So please look, we have a couple more shows left in May that we have spots open for. So please check that out. But first, watch this episode. This is going to be such a fun one. Tonight, we are going back to bad movies. So all the movies that we're going to use tonight have below a 5 out of 10 on IMDb. So if you disagree with it being a bad movie, you can blame the gods over at IMDb. I am not to blame. I like some of these movies. Also, I realized putting together this game tonight, it's a lot harder to be a bad movie on IMDb than it used to be. They nerfed the whole system when people were using it to attack movies that had just a woman lead or a person of color lead. They don't do that anymore, but it makes it harder to find bad movies. I think I have a good list tonight. I'll give you a warning. It's very heavy on the last 20 years. We'll see how that works. I've talked enough. I want to bring in my guests. Joining me on the show tonight are Arianna Magee, Josh Poirier, Maxwell Schultz, and Willie Muse. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
I'm going to start off. He's got a good background. I can't vouch for the movie. I think it might be bad. Josh Poirier back on the show. Hey, Josh.
What's up, Nick? It's a 4.5 on IMDb. I just checked.
Oh, perfect. That's McHale's Navy, right?
Yes, it is. It's a throwback to 4 episodes ago. 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Oh, yeah. What were we doing? Based on TV?
Based on TV, yeah. And but yeah, how's it going, Nick?
Going good.
Here again.
No, I know that you watch a lot of bad movies.
I do watch a lot of bad movies. Just got over the COVID too, so looking
so
forward
you've
to
had plenty of time.
Plenty of time. I've watched a whole host of bad movies, including The Intruder, which was Scott Derrickson, which I mentioned earlier when we were talking before. Scott Derrickson, starring Sam Raimi and Ted Raimi, which just should tell you how bad it is right off the bat. That it's starring Sam Raimi.
I know that you didn't love that one. I'm going to ask you this. Is there a bad movie that you would recommend?
Yeah, there is. It's trying to think which one I'd actually recommend. There's a lot of them. I mean, if you're looking for really bad movies to laugh at, Congo is a good one. Congo is incredibly bad and funny. I mean, Tim Curry is hilariously bad as an African dictator. He's a scientist, isn't he?
What's the difference?
But Congo's a great one. The Room is always a classic.
Of course.
The Room is always a great bad movie. And I think the bad movie that I like the most, though, that a lot of people hate, I gotta be honest with you, I may have to come back to this one for a second.
That's fine. We have some time tonight.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, thanks for coming back. Also returning to the show, she says she's a big fan of bad movies, and she's got a little DeVito to help her out. Arianna Magee back on the show. Hey, Arianna.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Great. How about you? I'm so excited. I do. I love bad movies. I like bad movies more than I like good movies.
Well, then this should be a much easier question for you. Is there a bad movie you would recommend people watch?
Oh, man. Can it be a two-way tie? Is that cheating? Okay.
There's no rules.
Hell yes. Okay. So one of my favorites would have to be On the Line with Insane Lance Bass. Incredible. Lot of farts. Another one though would have to be Retro Puppet Master with Greg Sestero.
Yes.
I only know that movie from his book.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, that would have been easy to miss, and I'm glad that I didn't.
Well, two good choices there. Excited to see if this knowledge helps you out tonight.
I hope so.
Also returning to the show, Maxwell Schultz is back. Hey, Maxwell.
Hey, Nick.
I'm
happy to be back. I'm doing really well. I'm excited for this show. I haven't been on in a month and a half because the 2 times you booked me, I had conflicts, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. We've traded at this point, I think.
I think that's fair. We're even. We're even. I'm excited. I'm doing well. I just ended my semester at school, and so that's a huge weight off my shoulder. Thank you. And now I just have all this time to do nothing, and it's great.
Well, perfect. How do you feel about bad movies?
I like bad movies a lot, and my answer to your question is an immediate for me, and I'm so glad that no one else said it yet. But bad movie that I would recommend, I don't think it's a bad movie, but I would recommend Tusk, the Kevin Smith vehicle.
I love Tusk.
I love that movie. It is really bizarre and disturbing and almost like a John Waters film. But it's great, and it's so... I love the history, I guess, of that movie is he was just high on a podcast and spitballed an idea, and then they made it a movie.
Oh, it's fun, and it might be the last really fun movie he made.
I don't think that's true, because I thought Jay and Silent Bob Reboot was really good.
There was good stuff in it. I didn't hate that movie. Are you excited for his new NFT movie?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, he wants to be the first filmmaker to release an NFT of a movie.
That sounds like a bad idea, but all right.
No, the market is thriving right now. Well, Maxwell, thanks for coming back.
Of course.
Finally on the show. I'm so excited he's here. I'm such a big fan. You may know him from his work at College Humor, also from his YouTube, where he does hilarious, in-depth video essays for movies, for America's Next Top Model. Real entertaining. I'm so happy you decided to do this. Willie Muse is on the show. Hey, Willie.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good as well. Now, I know because I watch your channel that you do enjoy bad movies and have been on the search for one of your own.
I love a bad movie. I think they're very fun.
Is there one that you would recommend people go out and watch?
I've been trying to think of it this whole time, and I was lucky that I got to go last. But the first one that popped into my mind, I love a Christian movie. So there is, if you've ever seen Fireproof starring Kirk Cameron, that one is, I'm a fan of that one.
That's the one where a fire stops him from cheating or something like that.
It is. I think it's hard to tell what it's actually about, because I think it's supposed to be about his porn addiction, but it's a Christian movie. So it's him looking at the Sears catalog a lot and just watching his life kind of spiral because of it, and it hates women with every fiber of its being, but it all comes together in a nice fun little romp. So that would be my answer for that.
I mean, that's the thing with Kirk Cameron's movies now, is they're always a fun romp.
Absolutely.
Really, that's the growing pains of being a director.
Well, thank you all for being on the show. I'm excited to get this started. Before I do, most of you know how this works, but for Willie's benefit and for anybody new watching this, if this is your first time, here's what's going to happen tonight. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of bad movies. As I always say, these parental warnings, I don't write. I don't know who writes them. These are anonymous weirdos with a lot of time on their hands to, like count out every single use of every curse word in a movie. That's the kind of thing they do. And they get worse than that. I've compiled these parental warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movies these are from. And unless there are any more questions or interjections,
I have my movie.
Oh, what is your movie, Josh?
My movie was Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, which is a classic movie that I searched out in the 90s, in the early 2000s. I actually searched this movie out.
Yeah, that's a movie I remember popping up a lot in my suggestions on the early days of Netflix. Yes. Back when it was just DVDs, they knew what my taste was. I still haven't watched it.
It's absolutely horrifically bad, but it's a musical and it's hilarious at the same time. So.
Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. Perfect. Well, now that we have all those suggestions, it's time to jump into the game. And to do that, Arianna, you get first choice. Would you like a movie from 2003, 2005, or 2017?
2003, please.
2003. All right. From 2003, first movie of the night for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. Numerous vehicular accidents with massive damage that in real life would probably result in fatalities. They're treated as funny. Willie has already buzzed in. Anybody else? Willie, what do you think this movie is?
I might have been premature. I was going to go Fast and the Furious.
It is not Fast and the Furious. Oh, and I will say I didn't explain this, but you do lose a point for every incorrect guess.
Understandable. I will stop that. There you go. That makes a lot of sense of why I was going.
Sorry. All right, for 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, some younger kids might find a chase sequence where the cops chase the two main characters in their truck and then on foot through a warehouse as suspenseful. But it's all played for action comedy.
Oh, wait,
Josh has a guess.
Wait a second. Kids. No, kids.
Josh doesn't have a guess.
No, it's kids. It's not the movie I think it is.
I mean, you say that, but I don't know if you were on that episode, but there's a point where in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there's she's offering a blowjob, but kids won't understand.
Oh wait, I'll try it then.
All right, what do you think, Josh?
Cop Out.
It is not Cop Out. I bullied you into an incorrect guess. For 3 points under sex and nudity, a man approaches a woman who he had groped while thinking she was a mirage. She jokingly gasps and covers her breasts with her arms. Real gross shit.
Yeah.
All right, for 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, it's painfully obvious that this film was edited down from an R rating to a PG rating.
Wow.
Willie, what do you think?
Is it Old Dogs?
It is not Old Dogs.
Game
Final clue for 1 point under violence and gore. 2 men accidentally hit an animal with their vehicle and appear to have killed it. As one of the men then decides to dress it in his jacket, the scene turns humorous as we see the animal is not dead, but rather hops off with their money. See Josh and Arianna. Anybody else? Arianna, what do you think this movie is?
I don't know if this qualifies as bad, but Kangaroo Jack.
Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I know this movie had it in it, but I don't consider it bad. Actually, you know what? It's not that at all. Forget it. I'm off on the year.
That is fine. Arianna is correct on the year. It has a 4.4 on IMDb. It is Kangaroo Jack.
Yes.
Supposed to be an R-rated, like, midnight run movie, and then they're like, well, kids will like the kangaroo.
I do remember that now. I did not make that connection before.
I was thinking it was Wrong Turn too. Kangaroos in that movie.
At the end of the first round, Arianna, you're in the lead with 1 point. Maxwell's at 0. Josh is at -1. Willie at -2. Josh, would you like a movie from 1977, 2000, or 2014?
I think we know where we're going.
I think
77.
So. 77. All right, from 1977 for 5 points. Under frightening and intense scenes. Music in the opening credits is very eerier and may disturb some.
I'm just going to throw out a guess.
Yeah, why not? What do you think, Josh?
The Manitou.
The what?
The Manitou.
No.
Okay.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a movie.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, note that this movie is far less scarier than its prequel. However, there are a few scary bits. Maxwell has a guess. Anybody else? Maxwell, what do you think?
I know I'm probably off on the air, but is it Gremlins 2?
It is not Gremlins 2.
How dare you?
Gremlins 2 is not a bad movie.
Gremlins 2 is
what the
wonderful.
I agree, but I could see IMDb rating it below 5.
That's a Joe Dante classic.
For 3 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, girl tells a doctor not to drug her.
No, that was 81. Wait a second. You said this that was darker than its prequel?
Yep. No?
Oh, you know what?
All right. What do you think, Josh?
No.
Perfect.
I'm just thinking the years are not right and everything like that. So
All right. For 2 points under sex and nudity, in one scene, a priest is seduced by a possessed manifestation of a girl. She's wearing suggestive clothing, but there is no nudity and no actual sex that occurs. I see everyone but Maxwell. Willie, what do you think this movie is?
What do I think? I was gonna go The Exorcist 2.
Arianna, what do you think?
Exorcist 2.
Josh?
Exorcist 2.
With a 3.8 on IMDb, this is Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
I didn't know that existed.
Wasn't as bad as a 3.2.
Final clue in that under violence and gore. Man attempts exorcism on young girl. However, girl dies.
Why I'm laughing at that.
The Manitou is a film about a woman who had a totem pole come to life in her back.
Arianna's still in the lead with 3 points. Josh and Willie tied at 0. Maxwell at -1.
What up?
Maxwell, would you like a movie from 2003, 2005, or 2013?
2005.
2005. From 2005 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, the hospital and crash scenes could seem intense to very young children. Arianna has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Arianna?
Son of the Mask?
That is a great guess, but it is not Son of the Mask.
Oh.
For 4 points under profanity, pretty strong and frequent for a G-rated movie by today's standards, including at least 8 uses of "oh my God," 2 uses of "God," and 1 use of "swear to God." Also 1 crap. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, the demolition derby scene could be frightening or worrying to a very sensible audience.
What year is it?
2005. Willie's going to take a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Willie?
I think this is too late. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to not guess. Okay. I was going to say Cars 2, but I don't think that is the right year.
For 2 points under sex and nudity, mild sensuality comments, bare midriffs, miniskirts, and a kiss. Some actions by a car towards a younger car, a new Volkswagen Beetle. Maxwell has a guess. What do you think, Maxwell?
Is it Herbie Fully Loaded?
It has a 4.9, just makes it a bad movie. The Lindsay Lohan classic Herbie Fully Loaded.
Herbie was a predator.
Yeah, well,
No, I was reading trivia for this movie, and apparently the director hated the movie so much that she would just add continuity errors to see if anybody noticed.
That's awesome.
Final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, younger kids may be worried when we see cars being smashed and crushed in a junkyard, with the titular car being next. A forklift then picks him up and starts to take him over to the crusher, but he ends up falling onto another car that the main character originally wanted as her gift.
Oh, Volkswagen. Oh, son of a bitch.
Arianna, you're at 2. Maxwell at 1. Josh and Willie still at 0. Willie, it's to you. Would you like a movie from 2006, 2019, or 2022?
Let's go 2022.
Let's go with the most recent movie. Willie already has a guess, apparently, but I am going to read this first clue. This movie came out some point in the last 5 months. For 5 points under sex and nudity, there are several instances where people aggressively grab, kick, or punch another character in the genitals. You still have the same answer, Willie?
I'm gonna stand by my guns.
All right, what do you think?
Is it Morbius?
Arianna, what do you think?
I don't think it's a bad movie, but Jackass?
It is not Morbius. It is also not Jackass.
Good.
No, I think people liked Jackass for the most part.
I loved it.
I loved it.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, a man describes to another man his idea for a pair of robotic glove hands that perform sex acts from people all around the world, one to another virtually. Maxwell has a guess. What do you think, Maxwell?
I don't know the name of it, but is it the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I have to tell you that there's very little genital play and sex gloves in Sonic 2.
I would.
Hey, not in my version.
In his version, they're cock rings.
Yeah.
That would have made that movie even a little bit better.
That movie was rough.
Oh, what a journey. For 3 points under violence and gore. While trying to escape from the hotel the characters are being held at, a woman has her hand shot off by the guards. She is seen flailing the bloody stump around. The whole scene is meant to be comical. For 2 points under violence and gore, during the film within a film sequences, characters and CGI monsters die in violent and bloody deaths, i.e. explosions, dismemberment, being eaten alive, etc. None of this is very serious, though, as it's obvious that this is just a movie.
Came out this year?
Came out this year.
Sounds like a movie that...
For 1 point under frightening and intense scenes, characters are seen having mental breakdowns throughout the film. due to the immense pressure and stress put upon them because of rules of the COVID-era film set. Josh and Arianna have buzzed in. Anybody else?
I know.
Josh, what do you think this movie is?
The Bubble?
Arianna, what do you think?
The Bubble.
Straight to Netflix, Judd Apatow's The Bubble is a 4.7 on IMDb.
Awesome. I only got this because Tyler complained about this multiple times.
Sadly, it's Gus Kahn's introduction to America because he's fantastic. I love Gus Kahn.
I unsubscribed from Netflix 41 days ago, according to the email I just got from Netflix. You know, if you ever unsubscribe from Netflix, they send you emails almost daily being like, hey, did you miss us yet? You should come back. Arianna, you are at 2. Josh is at 1. Maxwell at 0. Willie at -1. Arianna, we're back to you. Would you like a movie from 1964, 2001, or 2011?
2011, please.
2011. 2011 for 5 points. Under frightening and intense scenes, this movie exists. Arianna has a guess based off of that. So does Willie. So does Josh.
What the hell?
Josh, what movie exists?
Dracula Unbound.
Willie, what movie exists?
Human Centipede.
Arianna, what movie exists?
Oh, shit. Jack and Jill.
It is not Dracula Unbound. It is not whatever Willie said, I think.
Human Centipede.
Human Centipede. No, it's not Human Centipede. You know what movie does exist? 3.3 on IMDb. It's Jack and Jill.
Fuck yes, I knew the year. Okay. Wow. I had to see that movie 2 days in a row in theaters because my younger siblings wanted to see it, but they fought too much to go at the same time. So I went 2 days in a row. What a film.
The second clue in this, also of no help unless you know it, under frightening and intense scenes, so horrible and obnoxious, it could be considered frightening. Violence and gore. While staying with her brother's family, a woman wants to go with them to a number of fun activities, and the results are almost always disastrous.
Still Dracula Unbound still.
Under sex and nudity, Pacino smirks over the phone. Quote, I can smell horny across the ocean. And violence and gore. At Thanksgiving dinner, talks turn to the sometimes physical connection between twins. It is an unwatchable movie outside of the Al Pacino Dunkachino scene.
That is fantastic.
It's a moment of greatness in an abysmal movie.
Talk about having to see a movie twice. I remember I saw The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider in it.
Oh, heck yeah.
And what happened though was I was on 2 kinds of medication that made me lose an entire week. So what happened was I saw the Hot Chick, forgot I saw it, and then saw it again when I was out of the haze, and I hated it even worse.
Oh no. Oh. With that, Arianna, you take a commanding lead at 7. Josh and Maxwell at 0. Willie at -2.
But I guess Dracula Unbound.
Josh, would you like a movie from 2001, 2008, or 2018?
2001, please.
Always the oldest, regardless of what year.
What was the oldest year?
For 5 points from 2001, under frightening and intense scenes, while there's lots of violence in this film, the tone is not as dark as other films, and it often comes off as comedic. The journey of a sentence that I couldn't get through. For 4 points under violence and gore, the villain and the android briefly fight again, and the villain punches its head off.
You say Android?
Android, yes. Willie
What
has
was
a
this
guess.
again?
2001.
I'm so bad at
All right.
years.
I'm going to ask Arianna first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
that's okay.
Jason X.
Willie, what do you think?
Oh, that's a better guess. I was gonna go with Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Oh, that is a movie. I think I'm one of maybe 10 people who saw it in theaters. It is not Adventures of Pluto Nash. This movie is, for 4.4 out of 10, Jason X.
That's a travesty.
Oh,
Much better
man.
than 4.4.
What a film.
Just for the scene in the woods in the hologram on the holodeck.
That's the only good scene in the movie.
But no, the cryogenic face crush.
Other clues in that, under sex and nudity, a robot female is shown topless and 2 of her nipples fall off. Violence and gore, a man is hacked up with a machete. And alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the 2 females during the Crystal Lake sequence ask the villain if he wants some marijuana. Arianna, you're now at 11. Josh and Maxwell at 0. Willie at -3. I am glad you decided to try this show out.
Make my comeback.
I will tell you the low score on this game is -37. I feel like you won't get there tonight.
That was my goal.
Maxwell, would you like a movie from 2000, 2005, or 2017?
Oh.
And he's gone.
No.
None.
Well, I will hold for him for a couple of seconds. That's the fun about doing these Zoom shows, is sometimes somebody's just gone. Right when it's his turn. Let me just
Jason X isn't the worst Friday the 13th movie.
That's true. What do you think the worst Friday the 13th?
Well, I mean, for the pure actually what it is, Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan is pretty bad.
I can't stand that movie.
But the backstory behind it is hilarious. The fact that he takes a boat from Crystal Lake and ends up in New York Harbor somehow. And when the writers were asked why they didn't notice that, they basically said, we didn't think anyone would give a fuck.
Yeah, so he is not responding. He is not back. I might just have to move on and bring him back in. I feel like it won't affect play too much.
Yeah, because Arianna's got this game in her hands.
All right. Well, Willie, I'll move on to you and we'll see if Maxwell comes back. Would you like a movie from 2000, 2005, or 2017?
Let's do 2005.
2005. I also sent him, I realized, a text that doesn't make any sense. I was asking him if everything was okay. I typed everything else. Let's try that again. From 2005 for 5 points, under sex and nudity, the main character wears a black bikini, revealing her bare stomach and legs. Josh and Willie both have guesses. Willie, what do you think?
Catwoman.
Josh, what do you think?
Catwoman.
It is not Catwoman.
Oh, well.
No, he is back, it looks like.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, there you are.
Here I am. I don't know what happened. My internet just like pooped itself. But
Oh
I'm
no. You okay now?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, well, here's what you missed. We're doing a movie from 2005.
Okay.
First clue is the main character wears a black bikini, revealing her bare stomach and legs.
Okay.
Any idea what that movie is?
No.
Okay. For 4 points, under violence and gore, a woman talks about killing people for a living.
I'm gonna guess again.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
Painkiller Jane.
It is not Painkiller Jane.
Okay.
For 3 points under violence and gore, a wolf pulls off a tattoo from a man's stomach. We see it stretching the man's skin and charges after 3 people. All right, Josh, what do you think this time?
Shit. I can't remember the subtitle for the movie.
That's
Underworld,
fine.
Underworld 2.
It is not Underworld 2.
Okay.
For 2 points under violence and gore, a woman with daggers slashes at a man, and he slashes at her with a sword. He holds a sword on her throat. He kicks her across the room, and she lies still, covered with sheets. All right. Maxwell, what do you think?
Kill Bill 2.
Josh, what do you think?
Hansel and Gretel.
It is not Kill Bill 2, and it is not Hansel and Gretel.
Damn it.
All right. Final clue for 1 point under sex and nudity. The main character wears a skin-tight, quite revealing red outfit throughout the second half of the film. Did you still have a guess, Josh?
Yeah, I do.
So does Maxwell. What do you think, Maxwell?
What year is it?
2005.
Spider-Man 2.
Josh, what do you think? And also, how dare you?
Hey, again, I think it's a good movie. They might not.
If you meant Amazing Spider-Man 2, we'd have.
What do you think, Josh?
I don't know the name. Red Riding Hood?
It is not Red Riding Hood. And of course, it is not Spider-Man 2, which is a wonderful movie. Guess nobody remembers this movie. That's a 4.7 on IMDb. The spinoff of Daredevil. This is Elektra.
Oh, god damn it. Mark Steven. Fucking Mark Steven Johnson does it to me again.
Arianna, you're still at 11. Maxwell and Willie tied in second place with -2. Josh is now at -5.
Yeah.
Having guessed wrong on all 5 clues.
Nice. Now we know what I'm doing for the rest of the game.
All right. Maxwell, I'm going to go back to you because we missed your choice. Would you like a movie from 2003, 2013, or 2014?
13.
13.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
All right, 2013 for 5 points under violence and gore. A man says he smells gas. Everyone quickly escapes the car, and then it explodes. No one is harmed.
2013?
Yep.
No idea.
All right, for 4 points under violence and gore, a man is crushed by one of the giant letters from the Hollywood sign. Some blood splatter is on the letter. All right, Josh, what do you think?
Pixels.
It is not Pixels.
Okay.
For 3 points under violence and gore, the storm smashes into a bar and a Ferris wheel, making it smash into a building. Josh has another guess. Anybody else?
Oh, wait.
2013?
2013. All right, Josh, what do you think?
Actually. 2021.
It is not 2021. I can tell you that came out. Wait, 2021?
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I mean, yeah.
It's also not 2012, which came out before 2013.
Oh,
Both
really?
the movie
Sure?
and the year.
Are we sure about that?
For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, it's a cartoonishly over-the-top gore fest, and the violence in action is much more cheesy and cartoony than actually frightening.
2013?
2013. All right. Josh, what do you think?
2001. Space Oddity. Space Odyssey.
Space Oddity would have been a better guess. That's a Leslie Nielsen movie that's terrible.
That's not actually.
Arianna, what do you think?
Movie 43?
Maxwell, what do you think?
Sausage Party?
It is not movie 43 or Sausage Party.
Oh.
And I already chastised Josh enough.
I just wanted to get a year in there.
Final clue for 1 point under violence and gore. A man splits a flying shark in half with a chainsaw.
Oh.
All right, Maxwell, what do you think?
Sharknado.
Willie, what do you think?
Sharknado.
Josh?
Sharknado.
Arianna?
Sharknado.
Of course it's Sharknado. It's got a 3.3 on IMDb. Arianna's still at 11. Maxwell at -1. Willie at -2. Josh at -7.
Yep. Yep.
It's still anybody's game. We still have 20 points on the board. We have one more go around, 4 movies left, one more for each of you. Arianna, would you like a movie from 1964, 2006, or 2019?
2006, please.
2006. From 2006 for 5 points under violence and gore, a man pulls a gun on an advancing mob, but the gun is not loaded. For 4 points under violence and gore, a car is rather suddenly hit by a tanker and goes up in flames. A police officer tries to help the 2 people inside the car, but the car explodes, and he is thrown to the ground and knocked out.
Oh, nope.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, despite the disturbing imagery, this movie is considered to be poorly done and unintentionally hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I know it.
All right, Josh, do you know it?
The Happening.
It is not The Happening.
Really?
That was unintentionally hilarious, so.
For 2 points under violence and gore, a man in a bear costume hits a woman in the face. Willie has a guess. Josh has a guess. Anybody else? Josh, what do you think?
Midsummer.
Willie, what do you think?
Wicker Man, but
it is not Midsommar. It is, of course, Wicker Man.
But the bear costume.
Fun fact about that movie, my current girlfriend and I say current, we've been together 16 years. This was almost our first date.
Wow.
And I feel like that 16 years wouldn't have happened if it was.
The first movie I saw with my wife, my current wife, was Bringing Down the House with Queen Latifah and Steve Martin.
Arianna, you're at 11. Willie, you've moved up to 0. Maxwell at -1. Josh at -9.
Yeah.
Josh, would you like a movie from 1992, 1997, or 2015?
Damn, you're making me choose? 92.
92. From 1992 for 5 points under violence and gore, a man gets hit in the head. A man gets his head flushed in a toilet. Meant to be funny. Why do I have a show that I'm supposed to read sentences? Maxwell, what do you think?
Super Mario Brothers?
Is not Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, shit, that was what I was thinking too.
Well, then you made the right decision. For 4 points under profanity, an old woman says no shit comedically. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I'll just go with it. Double Dragon.
It is not Double Dragon.
Dr. Costas Clackett. That's it.
We are running out of video game adaptations.
Really? With 2?
For 3 points under sex and nudity, a bunch of female airline assistants walk past a man as they comment on him. One of them says, quote, "You look real sexy in nappies."
Oh, Jesus. Why not? Yeah, I'm already all in on this.
Maxwell, what do you think?
Con Air.
Again, how dare you? Josh, what do you think?
Passenger 57.
It is not Passenger 57. For 2 points under frightening and intense themes, a man has a nightmare about him shooting down criminals. His mother walks out of the building and says she has to change him.
Love
He
you,
is
baby.
seen with nappies. Everyone around him laughs.
Is this...
All right, Arianna, what do you think?
Look who's talking.
Josh, what do you think?
Oh, no, I'm not going to say it because it's going to come off wrong.
All right, it is not Look Who's Talking.
Darn it.
Final clue for 1 point under violence and gore. An elderly woman is seen purchasing an automatic weapon as a gift for her policeman's son. She's completely oblivious to the fact that the weapon is illegal. All right, I just see, oh, no, Josh is in there too. Josh, what do you think?
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Willie, what do you think?
I was also going to go with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
It is the movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger tricked Sylvester Stallone into doing. It is Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. 4.3 on IMDb.
For you guys.
2 movies remain. Arianna, you're at 10. Willie, you're right behind at 1. Maxwell at -3. Josh, 20 points away from the lead at -10.
Yes.
Maxwell, would you like a movie from 1997, 2008, or 2018?
2008.
2008. From 2008, penultimate movie for 5 points. Under violence and gore, a young man sits on a couch filled with food of all types and stuffs his mouth messily. Again, that's under violence and gore. Josh, what do you think?
I think you gave away the answer. It's penultimate movie.
No, Josh. For 4 points under profanity, many sexual references, including the F word, were removed from the original US unrated version to make the film get a PG-13 rating.
What's the first clue again?
2008, young man sits on a couch filled with food of all types and stuffs his mouth messily, and sexual references in the F word removed from the US unrated version to make the film PG-13. Violence and gore for 3 points. A pregnant teen is shown from the chest up, while seemingly her legs come up and kick a man in the face several times without effort. A slimy baby's leg comes up and kicks the man in the face as well. It is pushed into the man's mouth, and the teen says, quote, "Suck it." I hated reading that. Willie, what do you think?
Is it Dance Flick?
Josh, what do you think?
It's Scary Movie 2.
It is not Scary Movie 2 or Dance Flick.
All right.
For 2 points under violence and gore, a large paper mache cow falls onto 2 men and onto a trio of large mechanical chipmunks. We do not see any injuries, and all the characters reappear in other scenes.
That was an 8.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
Alvin and Chipmunks, the Squeakquel.
It is not the Squeakquel.
Oh, you said Chipmunks, so.
For 1 point under violence and gore, a large meteor strikes a sidewalk. The camera pans around it, and we see the top half of a young woman. She shows no pain and sings commercials.
I guess I just haven't seen this.
That is fine if nobody has seen this. This is the lowest rated movie on the list. Josh and Willie, you were close. You would have to just guess through a bunch of them. This is Disaster Movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Nobody should have. That was the Juno parody in Disaster Movie.
Oof.
One movie remains, and we're just doing it for fun, because Arianna, you are at 10. Willie, you're at 0. Maxwell, you're at -3. Josh, I think you're close to your lowest score at -13.
Yeah, I think -14 was my lowest, or close to it.
All right. Well, Willie, you get to choose the final movie. Would you like a movie from 2003, 2014, or 2017?
Let's do 2014.
2014. Final movie from 2014 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A woman pulls out a baggie of crystal meth in an airplane bathroom. All right. Josh, what do you think?
I'm just going to say Postal.
Arianna, what do you think?
Left Behind.
It is not Postal.
Yeah.
Arianna, I have no idea how you did that. This movie is the remake of the Kirk Cameron movie starring Nicolas Cage, 3.1 on IMDb. It is Left Behind.
Because I only watch bad movies.
I don't know if I'm impressed or kind of disgusted.
Oh. I expected to get to the 1 point clue on that one, I'll be honest.
I can't wait to hear the rest. I'm sure all of them I'd be like, I know it.
Well, let's just read through the rest and finish up this game. Under violence and gore, a wooden sign on a street reads, "The end is here."
Yep.
Violence and gore, a man and a woman argue about the existence of God, and a man says he can no longer think of having a relationship with the woman. She becomes angry and stalks away. Violence and gore, a woman argues with another woman who was berating a reporter in an airport terminal about Bible prophecy coming through. And frightening and intense scenes when the rapture occurs, people disappear, causing general panic.
I love the fact that Arianna was confirming that this was stuff that happened in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember all of this.
She's like, yep, that happened. Yep, that happened.
Well, that was Left Behind. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight: Josh at -14, Maxwell at -3, Willie worked hard for that 0, Arianna running away with this game with 15 points, making Arianna the winner tonight.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. This is huge for me. I didn't think this would ever happen on this show.
I mean, the fact that you got 2 of these at the 5-point clue is amazing.
All bad movies.
Thank you all for doing this. This was so much fun. Before we go, if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or just any last words, Willie, I'll start with you.
Look me up on YouTube, I guess. Type my name in, Willie Muse.
Absolutely look him up. I will vouch for that. I've watched so many of his videos. Also, he knits while doing them, so it's just like calming absurdity.
Well, shucks.
Willie, thank you for doing this. This was
Absolutely.
great. Maxwell.
You can look up my album. You can call me Dad on, I think, pretty much any streaming service, as well as my own Bandcamp. And then also right now I'm running a whole bunch of shows at One Broadway Collaborative, so you can go to onebroadway.org to see a bunch of dates you can see me at. So yeah.
Wonderful. And I promise I will be up there at some point. Josh.
You can find me here at some point in this month, some point later in this month. That's about it for right now.
Do you have a date figured out yet?
I do not yet, but I will be. I'll be hosting again. I'll be hosting again later this month. Parkinson's awareness for I have Parkinson's, which everybody doesn't know. But So I will be hosting a benefit for Parkinson's on this show with actors with Parkinson's, which was amazing to me to find out how many actually did have it. Like Bob Hoskins had it. Billy Connolly has it. So it was interesting to find out how many people actually did have it. Besides Michael J. Fox, everybody knows has it. So I'll be doing that at some point this month, but COVID kind of set me back. And I'll be back on the show. Later on the month when Jenny Ismay is hosting.
Oh yeah, that is also coming up. Jenny Ismay hosting musicals again.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. The last one was insane. So I do recommend checking that one out and also checking out the one later on because I'm sure it's going to be just as insane.
I can't wait.
But thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And finally, our winner, Arianna.
Oh, you can find me celebrating this win for a long time. You can find me on social media, Arianna Magee. Put me on your comedy show. I'll be at One Broadway Collaborative in July 17th.
Yeah, you will.
Heck yeah. Can't
Hell
wait.
Yeah.
And if you think I'm a good time, if you want to just hang out.
I thought it would have been really funny if Maxwell just went, well,
not anymore.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much to my guests, Arianna Magee, Josh Poirier, Maxwell Schultz, and Willie Muse. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. On Facebook, find the group, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. This is episode 88, so there's probably with the bonus episodes, 90 episodes you can watch. So if you like this, go back and watch some of those other episodes. Some of them are pretty good. And like I said, if you want to be on this show, please reach out to me on any of those platforms, and I'd love to have you on. We've got some good stuff going on. We've been doing this a year now. I plan to keep going for at least a couple more weeks. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Everything is weird and bad, so take care of yourself.